Hey everyone, welcome to the Star Wars Popcast, episode 34. My name is Christopher.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Lex.
And today, lots to talk about. I mean, lots of Ahsoka stuff. But first off, how are you guys doing? How has your week been since we've last spoken?
Pretty good.
Anything new? Anything exciting? Any new pickups?
I got a few clones, a few clone troopers.
You got a few clones. Ooh.
Yeah, I got the
Nice.
the 13th Battalion clone trooper.
Yeah, the yellow one.
The yellow guy.
Fixer and the jet trooper.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
I'm
pumped
still
for
waiting
that.
for those to show up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have my Mando, Grogu, and 1 coming on the 27th. So
Very cool.
really pumped for that to arrive. I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed. I saw Tony from Star Wars Sith got his already. I was like, damn it.
And Noah too.
Yep.
Did he get his too?
Noah, he got
Yeah,
the Obi-Wan.
Noah. Did he? I thought he got the N1 as well.
No, he might have.
Maybe not. Maybe
he
he didn't.
might have, but I
I
thought
could be wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah, I could be wrong. So I went to Hot Topic while I was at work the other day. I got the fifth brother. So that set is complete. I have the full wave of commons, and then I picked up the Greedo soda. So I love the color on this one. I love that. The color is great.
Oh, I love that.
International can or no?
No, this is a domestic can. So I don't know. When I go to Hot Topic, they usually have the domestic cans, and then if I go to Toys R Us, they have the international cans usually. So
Because I like
those
that
are my
blue.
pickups. Yeah, I like the blue. The blue and the orange looks good
I like
together.
the blue with the sprinkle of the orange. I don't think I would like the whole can being orange.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen it, so but I'm excited for this one. I hope it's a common because I don't really care for the shiny metallic. Yeah. But Lex, you're probably gonna get both, aren't you? You're working on getting all those sets.
Well, yeah, I'm trying, but I'm running out of space, so I might have to like consolidate and just kind of pick one. Like right now, I only have the one Padme.
Yeah, you need another baseball bat case, I guess,
I
to
have
expand
one.
into.
I have one. It's sad. I just don't know where to put it.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible, but
Space is the final frontier.
yep,
Right.
literally. There's only so many walls. I mean, the only one that's not covered in anything Star Wars is the one behind me, but I want to like start filming out of my desk more. So like I was telling Chris beforehand, I'm thinking about getting like some more movie posters, like maybe of like Rebels or maybe even one of like your pictures, and then putting like some of my lightsabers like in between it. So
That'd be cool.
like that, just to have other
Yeah.
than like my favorite music, because I don't feel like that fits my Star Wars, theme. And you guys all have cool backgrounds, but in order to do that, I literally have to like uproot my desk.
And
I
Patrick's
just
is
got a
looking.
cool background.
Yeah.
Patrick's is looking. I was gonna say Patrick's is looking cool. Every time we
No,
see it,
Patrick's
it
has come together.
more and
I'm
more.
very impressed.
Yeah, it's coming together.
You definitely have
I'm
to do like a room
enjoying
update.
After hearing talk of like this basement that he's gonna do, I thought it was never gonna happen.
Literally
but
for
now
months.
Yeah. Now
Trust
it's like,
me.
oh, it's happening. Yeah, it's
I made it happen on a budget, my friends.
Yes, you
couple
did.
cans of
it
paint,
works.
couple cans of paint, and Facebook Marketplace.
Oh yeah,
Always.
all the
it
shelving
works.
that way. So
Yeah.
on these Billy bookcases, I paid $180 for all four.
Yeah,
So
Easy.
yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
easy.
Easy
So
money.
I've
Great.
really been pumped, and I can't wait till I get the next portion finished, because then
Mhm.
the whole downstairs area will be done, and it just I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Cool having your own
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I wish I owned a house to do that myself, but
Literally.
that might not happen yet.
Because you're gonna have to eventually own a house.
Eventually,
and another
yeah.
room too.
You'll
Right?
need like a 2-bedroom. At least that's what I'm hoping for, like a 2-bedroom, and then that way I could have like a collection, like recording room, and I could play my video games in there and kind of just like vibe, and then it not be my whole bedroom, but
Yeah.
only can
And
do
then
it.
it'll slowly creep out into the rest of your house.
I mean, it already kind of has, but I'm trying to like contain myself. Like I have a lot of my Lego sets out there. I don't have as many in
Oh.
here.
Yeah, my
Okay.
wife's excited
Gotcha.
that the collections kind of moved from everywhere.
The living area. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was that little space that she allowed me to, record in. Is where I kind of worked. I still work up there, but just because I can keep an eye on things, the kids and everything else going on in the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Working up there, but I've also found I want a separation between work and my fun, and this is fun.
Yeah.
And
Work and play, right?
Yeah,
Play.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
it's your
need to
play
have a
area.
separation of those spaces. So
Yeah.
I literally came down to show my one of my project managers from work my collection room because he was like, "Oh, I want to see it." I was like, "Okay." So I took him on a tour. I brought my laptop down while I was on a Teams meeting with him. I got to show him, and he's like, "Oh, you should just work from down here now." I said, "Oh no." He's like, "What?" I said, "He's like, but we're going to be on video more." I was like, "No, that's upstairs." I said, "No, I don't know. This is totally separation of work. It's like church and state, separation of the two."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it is looking good though. Like,
thank you guys, because I got inspired by seeing all you guys had all your collections. I got a little space, a little corner that I was allowed to put a few things on. So it's really cool that and I'm still always, and I want to be changing it. So like I've already kind of threw everything up, right, to get it up and to put stuff. And now I'm finding like, okay, I want to move this over here and I want to do this. Okay, if I get another shelf, these are coming off of here, so I can do these things here and be able to pull more out. So that's what I have been enjoying. And there's so much that I don't even get to. Like I want to show off the Battle of Yavin medal that I got when I was at 2. I have that in its like leather little case and everything up there behind the Luke looking at Luke scene from Dagobah. But I want to be able to put that on display and show it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's all coming together slowly but surely. But I would say in the past month, a lot came very quickly to get done.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And a shout out to my buddy Rob Lindbergh, one of my Masonic brothers, for coming over and helping me get this painting done. Otherwise, it would still not be done. So
thank you, Rob.
Big shout out. Yeah. Thank you, Rob, for the help, man.
So this past week we had the 2-episode premiere of Ahsoka.
Yes.
Quickly, without diving too far into that rabbit hole, what did you guys think?
Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm so impressed, and I can't wait to see like what else we're gonna get so far.
Yeah, so am I. Like there wasn't a lot of like WTF moments, like moments that were like, oh wow, like Anakin showed up, like nothing like that. But it was still like the visuals were beautiful, the story is great, the writing was great, everything was great. Like
it was,
and seeing
perfect.
Like the lightsaber duels and stuff, like Chopper again,
and the Phantom,
yeah.
I got callbacks from Phantom Menace. Crazy,
so many callbacks, when so many Easter eggs.
And Shin were first coming on board.
That was like Qui-Gon Jinn,
Yep.
So
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
That whole boarding. I was like,
exactly
the hologram. The hologram that Ezra was on on the same hologram thing as Qui-Gon had.
Yeah,
and then the Darth Maul vibes when Shin was on Lothal and waiting with
and the little probe droids came back.
Yeah, that was the same noise, I think, too.
So, the music, the dun.
Oh yeah,
it had the same beat and
same
meter.
Vibe. Yeah,
even I think I saw a picture today on social media, and I was like, yes, okay, I'm not going crazy, because I mentioned it to Tony on his stream when he had him and Will from Diamond Figs and Ricky from Pop the Bounty Collector had their like after show. Mm-hmm. I mentioned that I got serious Maul vibes in that scene, and someone posted on social media that scene with the probe droid and the frame of Shin and her probe droid. It was
it's the same frame.
Point. So I was like, all right, I wasn't going crazy. That was intentional, and it was that vibe. So
I got that too.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was watching the Ray Sides recap of the first 2 episodes, and she said the exact same thing. She was like, Phantom Menace all the way, and I was like,
there's a lot of cool little things, and I don't know if everyone picked up on it. I know us hardcore sweaty Star Wars fans did, but I thought it was great.
Yeah, I was like,
don't put me in that group.
Yeah, what are you saying, Patrick?
You guys, I sweat Star Wars, man. I live and breathe it every day.
Like, I live and breathe it, but I'm not. Sweaty fan.
All right, we're not putting messes over it. All right.
Because when I go to those conventions, there are some sweaty fans, and I try not to be those people.
I bleed Star Wars. I don't sweat.
Literally.
Okay. I guess that's like.
I
It
think
runs through my
hygienic ways.
veins.
the only sweat
Yeah.
I do is what comes out of my eyes because I don't cry. But
Okay.
It was great though. I
But,
really enjoyed
yeah.
it. I thought it was fire. I mean, I love the lightsaber scenes.
yeah,
So many
Yeah.
great callbacks it was the little, I think, details that everyone has been like we're talking about Purgles and the logo, the Phoenix Squadron logo, which
Yeah.
ended up
Just
being the
everything.
symbol for
Yeah.
the rebels and the Republic. So
Mhm.
I just thought there's so many neat little meters in there that were perfect. And you know how we hate it on Andor and we hate it on that Mando episode with the Doctor Pershing?
Yep.
That
Yeah.
had payoff in this episode. Do you not think that? Because when you saw they had to go inspect that the
Yeah. The shipwreck
shipyard in
on
Corellia,
Corella. Yeah.
which kind of had that Solo getting back, in the Solo vibe there, Solos from there.
Yeah.
But
Corellia.
it to me, it kind of reminded me of that, and I was like, oh, interesting, because they're basically saying, well, there's Imperials on every part of the Senate and this and that, and yeah, it made it so easy for them to come back, didn't it? So
Yeah.
I thought there was a little bit of there's something that you needed to have seen to better understand the point of this. So I thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. But with the episode, with the 2-episode premiere, I mean, we actually got reveals of Funko Pops a day early. In fact,
We did.
Blown
like,
away.
what's going
Crazy.
on, Funko? Yeah,
Yeah.
like they haven't been this on top of it since I think like the first season of Mando. I think.
Yeah,
Right?
This is a first. This is a first.
So
Yes,
thank
they're
you,
listening.
thank you,
They're
Matt. Thank
listening.
you, Funko.
Yes,
for
thank
that.
you.
So let's talk about that. We'll jump into our pop report and talk about the reveals.
No need to report that to him until we have something to report.
Yeah, so
Look at that lineup.
six pops, 3 pop keychains here.
Yep.
So yeah, lots of stuff. Really excited about all of them.
I mean,
do you guys have a favorite, or maybe wait till we go through them and you can we'll see what our favorites are here.
I mean,
So the
even
first
just
one was an
box.
Ahsoka Tano keychain. Yeah, the box art. Like when we get to the boxes, yeah. So keychains, like I don't collect the keychains, so I don't plan on getting them, but it's still cool. Like we got an Ahsoka Tano keychain here. The teal, like the teal color, like I love the teal.
Love it.
Teal's fire, and the Ahsoka logo, like right under the Star
The
Wars.
Ahsoka logo, yeah, and like the star map
Yes.
graphics on the box, yeah.
Mhm.
So there's the Ahsoka keychain.
Is that the same pose though? As the
I think
pop
it's
that
the
they
same.
released? Okay.
I believe so. There's a Sabine Wren, so this is with the helmet on, so which kind of makes me think that we're gonna get a helmet on Sabine as a full size pop
Like
too.
a chase variant.
Maybe a chase. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
this
a chase would be
was
cool.
gonna, this
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna for sure get already.
yeah. And then we got a Hera Syndulla, General Hera Syndulla,
Yeah.
which I believe is the same pose as the full size one as well. So
I
then
think
the
so.
first Funko Pop is Ahsoka number 650, which is crazy because we gotta be over 700 pops in the Star Wars lineup with all the duplicate ones like the chrome and all that have the same numbers. Yeah, it's gotta be over 700 now, eh?
Yeah.
We're getting up there.
I mean, we're getting close.
Yeah, we're getting close.
But who knows? They may even skip numbers.
The box,
I don't know.
Yeah, the box art on this, it looks fantastic.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I really like it because I'm just kind of noticing you get kind of that star patterny in the teal.
Yeah, on the side,
even
right?
gradient on the front. If you notice
on the front a little bit too.
It's a nice small detail.
Yeah,
the
really
inbox
nice.
collectors are gonna love this. I think the box is really clean. Really clean.
You turned me into an inbox collector, Funko, but not really. No, I'm gonna.
I mean, for the ones I take out of box, I do collect. Like, I keep the boxes and I kind of have them like stored off to the side, and I kind of put them together like by their sets and stuff. I just turn them sideways so I could see the character. Like, God forbid, I need to like switch them out. But like, just I was looking at them earlier. These boxes, like this box design, is so different from the ones that we've gotten prior.
Yeah.
Like usually it's either like black with red, or it's white with the
Yeah.
only one that's really kind of different is the gaming
Return of the
rights
Jedi.
and like the Return of the Jedi. So I feel like they're really kind of
Yeah.
getting into this new wave of really kind of putting more thought and
Yeah, I
effort
like it.
into their boxes, and I'm
Yeah.
really, really here for it.
Yeah, because even the Kenobi show, like that's the side of the
Yeah.
Kenobi one. It's
It's very
black
kind
with
of monochrome,
gray trim.
few
Yeah.
colors, and that's how
Bland.
the
Yeah.
prequel ones are. That's how the Clone Wars are. Like, there's very
Yeah.
few boxes that have a lot. But like with Return of the Jedi, we got like the whole Death
Oh,
Star in there. This, we're kind
Yeah.
of getting the star map. Like, I'm
The star
liking
map,
what they're
yeah.
doing. So
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
agree.
So
I agree with you, Lex. I thought the Return of the Jedi ones came out so gorgeous. I really like that because
yeah,
even the Empire was just like a bluish purpley color gradient. You know, some silver. It didn't have
Yeah.
the punch that this new Ahsoka
Yeah.
and like you said, the Return of the Jedi really, really pop.
yeah. So like for inbox collectors, like our a couple of our friends, Tony at Star Wars Sith and Ricky Pop the bounty collector, like those guys will keep the boxes for sure.
I mean, these
They're
are
gonna love
definitely going to
this.
come out of box, but I'm definitely going to keep the box. So
Yeah, not me. I'm tossing the box still.
I'm getting the
But yeah, look at the
I
out of
need to, but
Look at that, though. Look at
look
that.
at the way your
yeah,
cape
Lex.
flows.
You have to fully embrace
blowing
the
in the
dark side,
wind.
Lex,
I
and toss
know.
those boxes.
It's getting to me. The space is dwindling, but anyways.
Yeah, look at the pose though, and I like the little the ripped details at the bottom of her.
Yeah.
I was
clothes
about
there,
to
too.
say how it's all
Like
tethered looking.
yes. And it's
Yeah,
like
'cause, like,
glowing.
Yeah.
I don't have the Amazon exclusive Ahsoka. Do either of you have it?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't have it. If you don't mind
I
grabbing it,
think I
because I
have the
don't.
one where her lightsabers are crossed.
Yeah, that's the one with the hood, right? She's got the hood up, I believe. Because I don't have that one. I was wondering if the cloak's ripped on that one too. Is the cloak ripped on that one as well?
Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's more
no.
together.
You want me to take her out of the box?
I mean, do you mind?
No.
I'm just kind of curious.
I got a full comparison here,
Yeah,
Patrick.
I don't mind taking it out of the box. Let's take her out of the box. What's in the box? All right, here she goes.
Oh, as the box ripped, that would tear Tony apart. Yeah.
So
it's not
interesting
ripped.
enough, there is a little bit of tatter.
Oh,
If
a little
you-
bit, eh?
Yeah, but not
Okay.
nearly to that level.
Not like that. So
Yeah,
I
not
just
like
think
this.
There's a little more
But
age.
similar enough. Yeah, but I like the
Age
pose. I like the pose on this one. The hood looks a little more textured on this one.
Yeah.
On the new one.
Yes, the concept at least does. Is that the real prop?
I mean, I think it's just a rendering, but I'd imagine the real pop is going to be just as textured.
Similar.
I think.
I like it though. I mean, they look great.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Big fan.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the pops I'm going to be picking up. The keychains I'm going to pass on. Are either of you guys getting the keychains?
I don't have any keychains, but I'm probably due for a new one because my minifigs, Yoda's ears, have gotten a lot shorter than they once were, and I can't even see Boba Fett's markings on his face mask anymore. So if I was going to do a new keychain, I'd get
now
one.
is the time.
One.
Yeah, like Obi-Wan said in Revenge of the Sith. Now is the time. But there's the next one. Merrick or Marok? I think they were pronouncing it Marok.
Yeah, I thought it was Merrick.
Yeah,
I thought it was Merrick.
And then
I think they keep saying Marok. Yeah, Marok. But either way,
cool.
like that is cool. So he's got the double blades out.
Has he got the
and
cloak
the cape.
on? Yes.
The cape. It looks cool. Right? So same box, like beautiful boxes on these. There's the out of box image, and like Patrick's gonna wet his pants here because he's so excited about the cape flowing. I think.
Dude, I just thought that was such a cool. I don't know why I just was like, that was dope.
No, it is cool though.
It was a great detail, and this, I mean, it might not be blowing off of him, but it looks pretty cool.
Like it's just about to blow off of him though.
Yeah.
Like he's just about to let it drop.
Yeah. I think they made a happy medium way they could do the pop. So I love it. I think it looks so cool. You know what it kind of reminds me of, his mask? It reminds me of a Star Wars version of the kendo. You know how in Japan they have the kendo with those like wooden swords that they fight with, and they have the masks just like this.
Yeah, we know Dave Filoni gets inspired by all that Japanese,
Yes,
Kurosawa, like
Yojimbo, and all that stuff. Yep.
Right. So, and
very evident in these first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
very evident.
Yeah. Yeah, no, great looking figure. And you know what? I think we're gonna get an unmasked one with Star Killer under there.
Oh, so yeah. So I'm curious. Star Killer, Lex, who do you think it could be under that mask?
I mean, I know you kind of fielded earlier, like before we had hopped on, that you might think it might be Ezra. And the only reason I'm kind of like on the edge about that one is because he disappeared with Thrawn. And if we don't know where Thrawn is, we may not know where Ezra is. So I'm kind of hoping it might be Starkiller, just to kind of finally introduce that character to a live action and to bring them from the video game to, on screen. So, I mean, but even if it is just a new character in general and it's no one that we've ever seen, I'm here for that too, because that's another backstory that we, get to dive into and see. And I think that we need to be expanding the Star Wars community kind of, rather than just using the same characters that we've already seen and just recycling them differently. Like, I think he's a unique character. We've yet to see an Inquisitor like this. And I would be interested to see who is under the mask, whether it's someone we've seen. I'm hoping it's someone different, but that's kind of my take on it.
I'm hoping it'll be cool to have a past Jedi that either we referenced.
Like originally, I was Barriss Offee.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was a male, not a female.
Yeah, well, I mean,
okay, but if you look at the legs, they're very skinny.
Yeah, at least the stunt performer or the person inside the actual suit is a male, but that doesn't mean the character's male.
Well, I don't know.
They could remove the mask, right? And
because there could be that girl that did the warrior from the Sand People from Book of Boba Fett.
Well, they already confirmed it was a male there. They already confirmed it was a man. Playing the character, but that doesn't mean it's going to be when they reveal it. It's going to be his face.
Okay,
right? It could be.
But
right?
I don't
he
know.
could just be doing the stunts.
I thought they could really throw us for a loop by, because they so many times in Ezra's journey after he met old Master Maul, right? When he met him, there was a lot of temptation there. Yeah. So I wondered, he has no guidance anymore.
Yeah.
He's left it all behind.
Patrick, what you're saying makes sense, but I'm kind of with Lex because, like, if Thrawn's gone, then I think Ezra would be gone.
Well, maybe
too.
he said
unless they both made it back. No, unless maybe they both made it back somehow.
But isn't the premise right now is they're trying to find Thrawn? So maybe somehow Ezra made it back and Thrawn didn't. Like, he trapped him in a different time continuum, and they're looking for Thrawn. And Ezra's
I guess
back.
We'll have to see.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But you can definitely,
either way,
if it is Ezra,
very cool looking pop.
Yeah, if it is Ezra, you have an "I told you so."
If it is, I'd be a little disappointed because I don't want it to be, but I have the sneaky suspicion like they have this masked character for a reason. There's going to be a reveal. We're all going to be like, no way. So, and I'm thinking, okay, the craziest could be Ezra. It could be someone we might have seen before, but I have a feeling there's a reason he's masked. And if it's Star Killer, forget about it. That'd be awesome.
I mean, Sam,
did he look about? So I'm trying to think. Is Sam Witwer about that height? Like I was trying
in the post-credit scene, like he was in his name was in the credits.
Was it?
Yeah. At least someone posted on Instagram. I peeped that, and his name was.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
Oh, now
I'll see if I can find it.
I don't mind rewatching. Rewatching just the whole credits again.
Yeah. Either way, it's a cool character, a very cool pop. Mm-hmm. The next one we got coming is number 652, Professor Huang, or Huang, yeah. So very cool droid. Droids are something Funko does really well, which we say all the time.
And I think we were calling to have this one, Chris, when we were talking about ones that we like to see in the future. And I think you called this guy.
Yeah. I figured we would.
Really cool.
Look at that. It looks so great. That's
and like you can see his wires.
And it looks like metallic. Yeah, metallic finish to him almost. So
yes, it looks very that's gonna photograph nice.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. And then we got number 653, General Harrison Dula. So same pose as the little keychain there.
Keychain? Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Just
So
a
again,
cool
like
pose,
the
though.
box art is just great.
Yeah.
There's the out of box
Look at
image.
that. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Definitely. Like little I guess
The stances,
impression of
not
motion
one of
there.
these. Yeah, the stances on this one and the Ahsoka one so far, and Merrick,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they look great. Like the Professor Huang, he, I
Yeah.
can
But
see
like
that he's a robot.
it suits him because like we've only seen him standing around most of
Yeah,
the time.
that
Right?
works.
So it
But
suits.
these are great. I love this.
Yes.
That little
Yeah.
bit of bent knee and it gives
Yeah.
motion. It's
The hand out like she's like almost like she's sneaking up on somebody with her blaster out. But then the next one, Chopper, number 5 or 654.
I
Yeah.
love this one.
Yeah,
I think
this
this one looks
awesome.
way more detailed than the original.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if you look at the out of box image, so you can see he's got his wheel out. He doesn't have his arms out, but it's different enough where like no, you're gonna want this one too.
Yes,
So
100%.
yeah,
Yes, you
definitely getting all of these.
My favorite war criminal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
trying to look at the original one I got.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
original
I was looking at
one,
mine too. The original has the
got the
the arms
antenna.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the hands out, which is cool, and
Yeah.
you definitely see the thing on it. But like even the coloring, this looks a little more tannish as
Yes.
opposed to the whitish like that.
I
Yeah.
do
I
like
think that
those.
looks a little better.
It's still gonna be cool though.
And I like the wheel, like you pointed out. This does not have that
Yeah.
third wheel there,
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
so that's going to be cool to see.
Yeah. The next one's an Amazon exclusive. 655 Sabine Wren. This was just announced like what the same day Ahsoka dropped. I think they announced it.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think so.
Yeah. So out of box image. It looks like the pose is the same possibly as a keychain.
I was going to
Just with
say
the-
it looks
the
like
helmet
the
off.
same thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Which is awesome.
love this. It's
I
the
would-
purple hair.
Yeah. I love it.
So purple hair, her new
I
armor,
hope they do.
Look at the
Yeah, I
paint
hope they
job
do
on
the
the
that
lightsaber.
Yeah, the
Oh, yes,
lightsaber.
she's
I
got
never
that
even
hanging off
noticed that either. Yeah, off of her
Oh,
belt
good
there.
call, Lex. I didn't even notice
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
just assumed
lots
it was
of
the
lots
key
of
to
nice
the
little
armor.
details. Oh yeah,
It's a
lots
very
of
nice
little
looking
details in this one.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
I hope they do a version with the long hair, like from with the
Ooh,
lightsaber
and her-
ignite. You know?
Her left paladin, the blue
Yeah.
one, I bet has the Purgle on it. Because
Oh,
if they're
awesome.
putting all
Yeah.
the little details of the lines, I guarantee they got the Purgle on that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So next we have some NYCC rumors here. So again, brought to you by a couple very reliable sources: Scarlet Funko and Funko Info. So I forgot to gray one out there at the bottom, but Darth Maul is the only Star Wars one that we're getting. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Like, which Darth Maul do you think we're getting, and what are your thoughts on only getting one for New York Comic Con?
Old Master.
You think it's Old
the end
Master,
of
like Rebels,
I want,
with the hood
I
up?
want to see. Yes.
Yeah, I would.
That kind of
You know, I would like to see that. Yeah,
that curved piece lightsaber he had that was like the cane. 100%.
Yeah.
That's what they got to do. That's what we're missing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think with all the Rebels hype in the Ahsoka series, like it kind of makes it's fitting to kind of go with that Rebels type. But honestly, I'd be surprised to see what we get. I don't really know. I mean, how many did we get
yeah.
last year?
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm trying to think about that. Like, what did we?
Because
get?
I know we got Anakin, right? He was NYCC.
Was it Anakin in New York? New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Anakin was New York.
And I
Yep.
think that was it.
That was it.
So I mean, it seems like that's the trend. One Star Wars, it sucks. I would love more Star Wars, but we're getting a lot more stuff with the Ahsoka series. So I'm not like too disappointed, but I mean, Darth Maul would be really cool. I just don't know what to really expect or what we'll be getting.
Yeah, because I'm trying
Yeah.
to think, Lex. I think it was just that one
Yeah.
because I thought the Purge Trooper.
No,
Um,
and B2. It was
Oh,
B2
and
EMO as well.
so it was the two
Oh,
of them.
B3
You're right.
was
You're
the
right.
other.
Yeah,
Got it. Because I know
I
Andor
just looked it up.
and then Chrysanthemum were all San Diego.
Yeah, Andor, Chrysanthemum, and the Purge Trooper were all San Diego.
Yeah, you're right. He does that one. He does have that like kind of blue, red, black sticker on him. You're right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, I mean, I'm happy with the Darth Maul one because like Darth Maul's my favorite character, so I'm happy with it.
You getting 2?
No, I'll probably just get the one. I don't
See
think
how hard
that
it is
far
to
ahead.
get them.
Yeah.
True that.
I got lucky last
Yeah.
year. I don't know if I'll be that lucky again. So
When do they hopefully one of the little group chats or something, Funko group chats will have an idea of when they're going on.
Yeah,
sale.
hopefully.
I definitely want to get one of them. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so do I.
So I wonder if it'll be around October-ish, right around the con, that you'll probably have a chance.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if they follow suit of what they did for San Diego, I mean, it's probably going to be like the week just before that they
just
reveal
before
it.
they release it. Yeah,
right.
I'm excited. Either way,
I'm excited either way.
Disappointed there's only one Star Wars, but excited if there's only one and it happens to be Maul. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. So that's it for the pop report. Lex, what's popping with our popping deals this week?
So I tried to go out on a limb and try to look for a lot of Rebels pops because I thought that would be pretty on par since we're seeing the transition from the animated series into the live action.
Rebels season 5.
Yes, essentially. So I tried to find some of them, but honestly, while I was looking, I was really kind of shocked by the price increase on some of these pops. Like the PPG value has shot up quite heavily. And a lot of people are definitely overcharging, so it was a little hard to find. I mean, I found some deals for you guys. Some of them are a lot better than others, but I did try to find some of them. But like the Captain Rex, like I didn't believe it, but I saw Slapshot Pops posted something about the Captain Rex from Rebels, how he's like sold out everywhere. And there was only a few sellers that had him, and they were well over $100 each.
Yeah. Wow.
And his PPG is
I'm glad I got mine, but let's see what's popping.
Don't have the box, but I got them.
Yeah. Well, let's see what's popping.
No money, no parts, no deal.
All right, so the first one that we've got is Canon Jarrus. So his PPG is $145. So with the seller, you'd be saving $5, $5 because he is selling it for $140. So this is a little bit more of an expensive pop, but that seems to kind of be the trend with these Rebel pops, unfortunately. I mean, the seller that's got him's 5-star rating. It looked like it was in pretty decent condition, and it looks like it comes with a pop protector. So, I mean, if you are looking for a Canon, this was the cheapest one that I could find, a little bit under PPG price. A lot of sellers have him well over $150.
Yeah. Crazy. So they jumped up in price.
They've jumped up tremendously. Even like the Thrawn, I think he's hitting.
It's got to be like over 400 now, eh?
Yeah, I think it's getting close to 5. I think it was like 460 when I looked this morning. That was quite insane.
Man, that's
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then we've got the Ahsoka. So this is not the holographic glow in the dark version, but she's in mint condition. PPG price is $70. So with this specific seller, you'd be saving $27, which I thought was a pretty big steal. Considering a lot of people had her for about $80. Some people had the box damaged and were still charging PPG price, which I think is a little crazy. But, I mean, this one was in mint condition, so I think it's definitely a steal. The seller is rated a 4.8, which is still pretty high. It's not the typical 5, but, it is something worth considering, and you can always message to make sure that it is mint condition, and you can always scroll through because it looks like it's got some additional pictures as well. And the special edition sticker, for those of you that care about that.
Or don't care.
Yep. Care or don't care. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is, I guess, a different sticker than what Funko has. Funko has a Hot Topic exclusive, and that one's special edition. Anyways, if you care about the sticker, maybe not. It's cheap enough if you don't care. And then we have our favorite Choppa in Disguise 2017 Galactic Convention exclusive. So his PPG is 50, so you'd be saving about $5 with this seller. They do have it $5 under PPG because they have it listed that there's some issues to the side glass. However, I did look through the pictures because I have quite a few images listed, and I didn't really see too much damage, so I'm not sure what the seller is talking about. But if you are interested in this pop, I would definitely just maybe message him and see, what's going on, and if you even really care about the box condition. But saving $5 is saving $5, and he looks super great. I think this is an excellent disguise, and I'd love to see him do this again.
Yeah,
And that's pretty affordable too.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all.
Not bad.
And then we've got Darth Maul. And I threw this guy in there because we did have the NYCC release, so maybe this will be another Rebels pop that we'll get, but I think this is kind of one of my favorite Darth Maul pops.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I do really like this one. So, I mean, his PPG is 55, so you would be paying PPG price with this seller specifically. This was the cheapest one that I can find for this Darth Maul. He's also kind of going between 180 to 100, or not 180, 120 to like $80 or so. So a lot of the Rebels pops are reaching way over $100, and it's getting a little outrageous. But I mean, it's vaulted Smuggler's Bounty. It's going to come with a new soft protector. So I mean, 55 isn't terrible for one of the really cool Darth Maul pops. So I thought I would throw this one in there. And the seller's a 5-star rated.
Nice. I think that's going to get hard to find too.
I think they're all going to get hard to find.
Yeah.
Especially with
the further we go into the show. Yeah.
And then I've got Sabine Wren. This is the masked version. So this one was kind of a bigger steal, I thought. So her PPG price is $80, and this seller has a mint version for $45. So you'd be saving about $35 with this one. It's got the special edition sticker versus the Walgreens exclusive. However, I know not everyone really cares about that, and you kind of just look for the pops. But if you do, maybe shoot them a message, see if you can go even lower. But I know with things kind of going up and people price gouging, it might be a little difficult to swing that. But I thought this was really cool. It's the different mask than what we see in that keychain version, but I really like how her helmet changes. Like, I like that she does the art to it. So I think it's unique to kind of have a different version.
Because this is like this is later in the season. This is like, season 3 or 4?
2 or 3. It's later. It's definitely
later. It's not her original one, because I think the original one had like white to it, kind of.
I think so.
It definitely wasn't like as dark, but I really like the mask. I like her, like Mandalorian helmet and how she has like a whole bunch of color to it. Like, I just think it's really cool. And I think it's cool that even in this Ahsoka series, we're getting a new helmet too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think this might be the last one or second to last one, but I have the Sabine Wren unmasked. So in this one, she doesn't have the purple hair. She's got like kind of a teal, darker blue color, and her PPG is 65. So you'd be saving $10 with this seller. I think they have it discounted, or as they've mentioned, because there is a little sticker residue. However, I looked through the pictures. I didn't really see much. So, I mean, I think a lot of people try to just discount where they may see some issues, but you can always message them to see, what the real situation is, because I didn't see too much on it. Seller is rated 4.9, so I mean, honestly, I thought it was a pretty good deal. It's her with a different hair style than what we see with the purple, but I think it's still a really cool pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gotta get that.
The last one that I've got is the fifth brother. So his PPG... Funko Online, like the Funko app, didn't have his PPG or even the seventh sister or the Grand Inquisitor, so I had to go on to HobbyDB, and they have his estimated value with the Walmart sticker for $45. So with the seller, you'd be paying PPG price. He is rated 4.8. It looked pretty good in the pictures. I mean, maybe the only thing I noticed was at the top where the Rebel sign is, it kind of just looks like there's a little bit of something, but I don't know if maybe that's just the protector that it's in. But you can always message them, try to get the price down. I always recommend that. Doesn't hurt to shoot a low offer. You may just get turned down, but it's always worth trying. But that's what I've got today for the pop-in deals.
That's excellent.
Awesome. Yeah. So with the new Ahsoka series, we're doing our top 5s again, and this is the first time we have Lex doing the top 5s with us, so this is going to be really exciting to see everyone's top 5. So let's jump into that right now.
Magnificent, aren't they?
So Lex, why don't you go first? Why don't you tell us your top 5 characters from the first episode? So it's kind of like a top 10, but it's top 5 from each episode. So
Yeah.
from the first episode, Master and Apprentice.
Yeah, so initially I was really impressed with this. I feel like we've seen it before prior where she kind of like makes a hole with
Yeah.
the lightsaber, but I thought it
In
would
the
be
Clone
kind of
Wars.
cool. You could have her like pose, kind of have, you know, her base maybe just be, like instead of the typical black Star Wars base, you could have that like kind of looking like it's been cut up a little bit. I just thought it was a really cool scene, and she kind of uses it to her advantage against those droids that end up coming for the map as well. And I thought it was just a pretty cool scene to like kind of see and watch.
I agree.
And then I know that we see her in another outfit, but initially we are introduced to her as the prisoner, and we come to find out that her name is Morgan or whatever. So I thought it was kind of interesting because the initial scene is, you know, Balin and Shin, right, are going to rescue her and pull her off of the like free her as a prisoner. So I thought it was kind of interesting. That would be maybe an interesting pop to see. I highly doubt that they'll make it, but I thought it was a pretty cool and like important. They're going to free her. That's what it kind of starts out as.
I like we got this story because like the last we saw her, she was fighting Ahsoka in, what was it, Mando season 2, and then we didn't see anything of her. We didn't see what happened. So it's nice they tied up that loose end. Yeah, in my opinion. So yeah.
And she seems like she's going to be a pretty pivotal character because she's got the connection to Thrawn, and he's speaking to her or something like that. So I thought that was interesting.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then I think it's pretty unanimous on the podcast that we think that Funko does droids very phenomenally. Yeah. So I thought these droids were kind of interesting, and we see them throughout first and second episode. They're just there. They're HK? The HK droids?
HK-47, I think.
Yeah.
Assassin droids. Yeah.
We see some different variations of them. You know, I really don't care which one it is, but I thought they were just really unique. And I like how Funko does droids, so I thought that would be a pretty cool one to throw in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree too.
And this, I thought this was so cool. We get like some really cool, you know, Funkos on the speeder bikes. However, this speeder bike is like Sabine's. It's painted, it's different. You know, you could have her with her helmet on. Like, I thought that would kind of just be a really unique pop ride, almost kind of like throw in there. So I thought that would be pretty interesting to see as a Funko Pop.
Good call, Lex. That would be great.
Right?
Yeah, love it.
Because I like how they do
the new outfit too.
Yes,
I love it.
Helmet, like the jacket.
There's
so much detail you could throw in there, and it seems like they really have an eye for it, especially with that one Sabine pop that we like kind of discussed a little earlier. So I think if they really kind of stuck with the detail portion of it, they can nail this.
Oh yeah, did you get the Mando and Grogu on the speeder bike?
Not yet.
No, I haven't done that one either.
So good.
Yeah, the detail on that one is really good.
Keep rubbing it in there, Patrick. Keep rubbing it in.
Yeah, those bigger ones, I'm just struggling with the space and stuff. You know.
No, I hear you. So. But that is a real, like, I just tripped out to see the little mini Boba Fett helmet.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, bundled in there. And I was like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I thought
this would make a great one.
Details.
You make a great call on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, I had to get the Loth cat in there. I thought he was so cute. He was kind of reminded me of my own little cat. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but I thought that'd be a cute little character. I think they do creatures very well. So it seemed like it was an important.
They did the Silver Fox too. They did the Silver Fox from The Last Jedi. So there's no reason why they can't do a Loth cat.
Like, I would have loved to have even seen like the Loth Wolf. Like maybe the animated one.
I think we're still possibly going to see that.
Like as a Funko Pop, just like from like Rebels. So I mean,
I think we'll see a pop ride. I think we're gonna get a pop ride. Maybe a couple pop rides of two characters riding.
That would be insane. I would love that to happen.
So Patrick, why don't you go next? Why don't you tell us your top 5 from the first episode here?
All right. So one of mine from the first episode is Shin. I thought she was just really cool. And I actually liked her with the hood down.
Yeah.
Because, and the reason I say, because there's another character I like when he has his hood up. Thought it was kind of cool, but I liked her hair. It just seemed kind of cool. It just, I don't know, it fit with the character, and we don't know much about her, but I'm kind
No.
of getting like she's kind of like trying to learn the Jedi way, but maybe not
Yeah,
really.
she's still got like the
Jedi way.
Padawan braid thing
Does
going
have a
on.
Padawan
too.
Yeah.
braid.
And
Yeah,
so I'd love
so-
to see that as a pop, because I know they did Anakin's little braid on that New York
Yeah.
Comic-Con one.
Yes,
Talking
they
about-
Yeah.
did.
That would be really, really sweet. So I love this character. I thought the detailing. And I know JBIV had recently done a concept of this character. and
Yeah.
nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed
So love to see this character. Obviously, we didn't get it in the first wave. Kind of shocked, because if you open up with this girl and the other guy as the first two characters you're going to see, and they're
Yeah.
kind of going to be there, I don't know. I was kind of but let's see what happens. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
Cool character so far.
Yeah.
Very
For
cool.
sure.
And then next, the reason I said hooded and unhooded, because I love to get a Balin with the hood up, because he just looks so bad.
Oh yeah.
Just menacing. And honestly, I think to see the hood up is a clear difference from what we had with a Dooku or Darth Tyrannus. So
Yeah.
I don't even want I like the hood up on him. I think it would be way cool. So that's just me. And make it like you did Luke Skywalker's from the Mando with that hood. I like that much better than the older hoods that they tried to do to some Obi-Wans and stuff, where
Yeah.
I don't know, it looks like he's got like a man bun underneath the hood. It doesn't look right. It kind of goes what do you call coneheady a little bit.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I like how they did the Luke one much better, and I could see that happening with this character, Balin. It would look fantastic.
Nice. Yeah.
Had to go with Ahsoka, and Lex, I agree with you. If I was going to do an Ahsoka, because we have so many of the lightsabers in different positions, I was going to say the same thing. I wanted her, somehow cutting and carving that circular motion. I thought it was unique seeing her do that in Rebels and Clone Wars, and then to see her do it live action, but not just for her, but as you pointed out, how that was so pivotal for how she took out the HK droids.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. That was just
That
like,
was
whoa,
really
it was
cool.
really cool. It was really cool.
Oh yeah.
So I personally would love to see that too. I thought that was a really cool idea.
Very cool.
And much like you, I love that HK assassin droid, but I particularly wanted this one, Lex, because I love the cape on him.
The cape flowing? Yeah. I agree.
The cape
I think
just
that'd be
looks
cool.
so cool. Give me, Give me two different variations, a chase and a,
Yeah.
whatever. But you could even have the other droid be the yellowy tan version, and then the red guy with the cape. I don't care, but the cape on these guys, they just looked awesome.
Yeah.
With their little
Yeah.
spears there.
I'm actually shocked we didn't get them with the second season of the Mando when they showed up in the Ahsoka episode.
Yeah.
But I think this is Funko's time to redeem themselves. Give us an HK.
Come on,
Assassin
they're
droid.
all over the episodes. They
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
And I had to go Professor Huang. Am I saying it right? Huang.
Huang?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Huang.
think it's Huang.
But I really thought his character was something that as soon as I saw it in the trailer, I knew that's going to translate to a great Funko.
Yeah.
But seeing what they've already done with this Funko that they're releasing, I'm in love with it already. So I love that it's not really chrome, but that brushed metal treatment they've done to him. I think it has a little more sheen than you would see even in some of the Mandos. So I really like what I'm seeing so far. So I wanted to have that. If I could have something really cool, I thought it would be great to have him with the hand extended with her lightsaber.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Because I love that line. The only time you're wasting is your own.
Yeah.
I thought that was well said. And, he had that comical piece too about her being of all the Jedi in the
You're
thousand
the
years,
lowest.
worst.
He was so
Jedi
candid.
Yeah. It is
It was
great.
hilarious.
He reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy Drax, just very no filter. I'm just gonna tell it the way it is, like it or lump it. I loved it.
100%.
Yeah.
And he even said, she goes, that you're insane or something. That he goes, logical.
Yeah, logical.
Yeah.
So
right?
it was great. That was played on point. So this
It was.
character, loved him. One of the newest favorite droids I think we're gonna all fall in love with. If you haven't
Right?
fallen in love with his character from Clone Wars, I think this is an opportunity to fall in love with him because he's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think
that
so
they're
too.
giving him they're giving him a different side. Like we did get to see him in Clone Wars, we got to see him animated and like what his, part was, but now that there's no Jedi Order, you still have a droid, so what is his
What's
play
his
now?
purpose?
And I think, it's cool to see him being translated over to live action as well. He was one I didn't
Yeah.
think, but I'm really happy we got him because his lines and his scene, like they're so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm glad that he's paired up with Ahsoka because through all the Clone Wars, I found Ahsoka being probably one of the more studious of students because she was always in those Jedi archives. Always, always. So I honestly
Yeah.
thought when we saw at the end of Rebels how she was that Ahsoka the White character, I just assumed that she is going to be that archive of Jedi in memory because she'd probably be one of the few living Jedi from Order 60 that survived Order 66 at that point. And her knowledge, based with the knowledge of you heard him thousands of years, knows all these lightsabers that were constructed, knew who Balin's was from it.
mhm.
So I think her always surrounding herself with that will make her like the true Jedi master. Like she's like that's one thing about Ahsoka. I think that underestimates her enemies is that she is very smart, and I think Thrawn's gonna see that, because that's very much in his realm. He's not that powerful guy with the lightsaber
He's
wielding,
intellectual.
right? Or a blaster. It's his smart. So I think I think that's where Ahsoka will be an even match in that challenge because she spent so much time as a Padawan to one of the greatest Jedi. So, and in the archive. So we'll see.
I am
Yeah.
no Jedi, Patrick.
I'm no Jedi yet.
She's
So for mine, I also went with Balin Skull with the hood up because, like Patrick said, like he looks phenomenal with the hood up. Like I think we're gonna get both. I think we're gonna get both eventually, or I'm hoping we'll get both. But the hood up definitely looks awesome on this character. Next for my second pick, I also went with the HK-47 assassin droid.
heck yeah.
Again, with the cape flowing, like with what they did with that Maroc Funko Pop with the cape, they're gonna make this thing look just like badass as well.
Yeah, and I hope they do the distress on him, kind of like
Yeah.
they did Ned B. That would be nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
and
looks like the
even
big
with like
staff.
his staff, if it was like lit up like it does, like because it kind of gets lit up with the
Some of that purple acrylic around there.
yeah.
Man, yeah.
It's like kind of
Yeah,
giving
so
General Grievous's droids like vibe. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It is
Which
very
again,
much
like
so.
yeah.
I'm surprised we'd never got those droids either.
Right.
So my next one, this one I did one a little bit different. I went with Governor Ryder Azadi or Azidi or however you pronounce it. I think it's
Nice.
Azadi.
Little cameo.
Yeah, little cameo. Yeah, because it's the same actor, Clancy Brown, who plays him in live action as in the animated series. So
And I know we saw him as
I
that
don't-
devil one in Amando. He played the devil character on that prison ship.
yeah, yep. Yeah, he also played that too.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
and he's played other
It was
voices
cool.
in Star Wars. Do I
Yes,
think
he
we're gonna
has.
get this pop? No, but I would like to see it. It's like a frog lady. Like we didn't need a frog lady, but I'm happy we got it. So
Yeah.
Well, I think even the guy on the back left in the blue, I
yeah,
think he
that's somebody
translated
from.
over like Jake.
You're right.
Yeah, it's not the
Carroll.
same actor though, but
No,
it's,
no,
yeah,
no.
the character was brought into live action as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
kid that
Because he was
Ezra
in
met
season
for training.
4.
Yeah,
He met him in training, and then when they ended up going back to Lothal, because I ended up rewatching the last season of Rebels, he ends up like helping them. They meet up at like the cantina or whatever, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
old buddy," like doesn't say his name is Ezra, kind of throws something out, and then like they ended up helping.
wasn't it like
each other.
Jabba or something?
Yeah, it's
'Cause
something.
Ezra always threw out Jabba.
Yeah, it was
or
something
Lando.
funny, but I didn't even realize that until someone pointed it out that was his translation.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that.
Me neither.
Yeah,
so
I didn't catch
spot
that one. I caught the old guy right away.
Yeah.
The governor. I caught that one right away. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
the
like, wait
younger
a
guy?
second.
yeah. So then for my next one, I want to see this guy made into a
Yeah.
Funko Pop. Like you got another R2 unit, but this one would look so great. Like it kind of fits in with the retro 3-pack of the Cantina. Like they did that, so I think they could do this. I think they got to do this one.
This would
For
be
that
cool
reason.
only because I have a remake of one of the original R2 like vintage.
Nice. Yeah.
And this is a direct callback to that figure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That little triangular kind of
Absolutely.
thing. So
Yeah.
this is really cool callback, deep cut. And to me, is that teal color? Does he got the little bit of teal?
I think so.
I don't know if it's teal or maybe like a blue, dark blue.
I think it's like a greeny blue. It's like teal.
It could be. Yeah, it's tough to say.
But it looks cool. Like,
Yeah.
give me this guy.
Yeah.
This would be some cool vibes. You know what? Give me this, just his head in the E-Wing with the pilot as a pop ride.
I mean, I would rather the regular size R2 unit, but I see what you're saying. And for my last one, I went with Sabine with the long hair and the green lightsaber.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, because I mean, I think they could do this version of her really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Patrick, why don't you go?
Nation.
Yeah. So Patrick, why don't you go first on the second episode, which was what was it called? It was like Toil and Trouble, I think it was called.
Toil and, yeah,
Episode
it
2.
comes from Macbeth.
Yeah. So why don't you go first on that one?
All right. So I have Morgan Elsbeth.
Morgan Elsbeth, yeah,
is who I was picking. I would like to have that with her with the map or key or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
Hovering above her hand, but with some green acrylic for that fire or mist or whatever from the Night Sister. I think that would be a really cool pop to pull together. Like you could say so much about the character in that scene with just that kind of iconic thing there. I think it'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And who do we got next? Lex. When you put this up, I started laughing because I was like, "Oh my god, I agree." But yeah, I want this because Chris, you were right. They did do that.
Yeah, they did that Silver Fox, right? So
Crystal Fox.
Yeah, they could do it in a similar pose, even. Like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too far off, but
it's not.
I think it's cute.
I think this would sell like hotcakes. This will sell faster than Porgs.
Yes,
maybe. Yeah,
I'm guaranteed. I've got 2 cats. You know, I think I would love to have a Loth cat.
Me too.
If I could bring one home, I would.
Right?
Move over, Fatty. Move over, Emma. Bringing home a Loth cat.
Yeah,
literally.
My new favorite pet now.
Love to have one of these.
Yeah.
And it was a key character, I thought, in episode 2.
I thought so too.
I mean, it warned Ahsoka. It was kind of like Sabine's companion, or it's been Sabine's companion. Like she literally comes home, feeds it. Like that was so relatable. Like
yes,
like it was important. I felt like
yeah, and I thought it was interesting because it didn't go into the apartment or the room when Ahsoka first got there, kind of giving the inkling like I don't want to go in there. There's still trouble. There's something there. And then when she knew he like snuck down. But even his little hiss, the little Loth cat's hiss, I was like, that's awesome. Okay. The next one I had on my list was the Red Protocol droid.
Yeah.
Love this. This would be great. Give this to us. It was cool looking. We know that they've got a million different 3PO sculpts they can work from to do this, right? So it wouldn't be that hard to work this up. But really, I just thought it was cool looking, and they could give us some more of those details. Like you kind of see he's kind of not really clean, like you're used to seeing a protocol droid. So I think it'd be cool. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. And I wasn't sure, was there anything to these droids having red being the red arm that 3PO gets later?
I mean, you never know, right?
I'm kind of thinking that now.
Yeah.
Which makes it funny because now we know these droids don't realize what they're working for the Imperials, right?
Yeah.
And 3PO ends up getting one of their arms later. I guarantee that's what we're gonna find out. There will be some Easter egg to that.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought it was cool.
Why not? Yeah.
And this guy, right? I not only that, but when I put on my list, This guy with the cape. So thank you, Funko, for creating this, already showing this with the cape. Hook, line, and sinker, take my money. It's already on order, already on pre-order, already on pre-order. But Marek,
So
this
awesome.
character looks awesome.
It's
And I
cool.
know we're spending some time, speculating who could. I don't. I just think he's awesome. Whatever whoever it is, or ends up becoming, whether he's new, he or she a new character, or someone that we've seen from the past. Can't wait. But I definitely think there's a mask for a reason. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that like a T on the chest? I didn't even notice that, but it looks like there's something like on the chest plate.
Ooh.
Yeah, kind of does, eh?
I mean, I can't really, like, it looks like a T, but I'm not really sure. I just noticed that. I didn't even notice that during that.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed that either. Huh.
That could be interesting. Yes. And this, I had to do a chopper. Had to do a chopper. But I like the fist pump he was doing, with his heart. That was so
is
cool.
it all like,
his banter with Hera back and forth. I thought it was funny because my wife was laughing because she could understand what the droid was saying from the back and forth.
Yeah.
I thought that was really slick. Were you messing with stuff? You must have, because I didn't hear. Like you could tell what he was saying. It was perfect.
Yeah.
If they could do him in the Phantom, that would be cool. Like where he could be, maybe slide in and out of it. That'd be cool. But I don't know, just for something different for a droid because I don't think they have a droid on a pop ride.
I don't think so.
So they could do something like that. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, unless they have the R2 on the N1, don't they? With the Anakin.
I thought so.
Maybe. I don't know if it's like
background?
I don't know if it bobbles. Yeah, I don't know if the head on the R2 bobbles.
No, because
on the N1 Starfighter.
The new one that's coming out.
The new one that's coming out.
I don't have. He hasn't gotten here yet. I don't think Grogu bobbles, but I think
R2
is R2 in it.
Yeah, on the yellow one.
Yeah, R2's in it. It's like Luke Skywalker with the Naboo starfighter, and R2's in the back of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. When you see it, you'll be like, how did I not remember that? You'll remember it when you see it.
All right.
I just texted you a picture.
Yeah, it's all good, Patrick. It's good. So for kicking off my top 5, I also went with Morgan Elsbeth because such a great looking character, like Patrick said. Like the robes, I think Funko could do the robes really well. You can even do her with like the map, kind of like just floating underneath her hand, even with a piece of acrylic. So, yeah, I think that'd be a great one to have. I think eventually we're gonna get her. I mean, like Lex said, she seems like she's gonna be in a pretty pivotal role for this season here. So,
like, let's face it, she's
I don't see us. Yeah, I don't see us not getting her in the second wave. So I think she'll probably be a common. My next one, I went with the Loth Cat too. I didn't see the reason I picked the Loth Cat in the second episode rather than the first one because I feel like the second episode there weren't too many characters that we didn't see from the previous episodes, so there wasn't a lot to choose from. But the Loth Cat, you definitely need a Loth Cat.
Oh, he stepped up in his role.
Yeah, for sure. My third one, I went with Hera Syndulla as a hologram. So glow in the dark, right?
All right.
Glow in the dark Hera Syndulla.
Yeah,
everyone loves our glow in the dark ones. Yeah, and hey, I like them if they make sense to the story. So I will pick this one up if they make it. I also went with the Red Protocol droid. I think its name was C1D1. It was actually played by the same voice who did the Lego Princess Leia in the last couple. Yeah, same lady, and she also did the voice in that same episode, the one with Dr. Pershing in Mando season 3, where he's sitting on the bed and it's telling you about Coruscant there. It's the same voice,
Interesting.
same voice actors.
Wasn't she from like Lazy
Yeah.
Town, that actor, the voice actor for that?
Sorry,
I think that voice actress, wasn't she from like Lazy Town? Like
Lazy Town. I
It's
don't
like
know.
a
I don't even
kid's-
know what Lazy Town
Lazy
is.
Town.
Yeah, it's like this
Throwback,
kids show.
Patrick.
Sorry, it's a what? It's a kids show.
It was yeah. When my kids were young, it was like a
I
kids
used
a
to
baby.
watch it.
Kids show. I
mean,
think
I
that's her with the pink hair. I think that's her as a voice. She's a voice actor.
Oh no! It's not the pink-haired girl.
No.
No. Shelby Young is her name.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was her.
She's played Princess Leia in a lot of the animated stuff.
Got you.
This girl here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of Star Wars stuff, so I like that they brought her in to do the voice of this one. It's kind of nice when they use these actors in multiple stuff, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. And then my last one, I want to see a 3-pack of the holograms.
This hologram was so different,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like they did the Force
Oh.
Ghost 3-pack, so they can do like the hologram 3-pack of the three of them. I don't
That
think
would
they
be
will,
cool.
but I would
Give it a
it's-
greenish
it's
cast
one-
though. They have to make it less light blue
Yeah,
and more green.
I just
I
like
would be like, yeah, no, take my money.
I thought that was interesting, like how they did that. Like, is that some type of Night Sister magic? Is that like how is
That's
that?
what I was
You know,
wondering.
because that's not the typical hologram that we see at all.
No,
like, it
it
almost
wasn't
kind of has
protected
this.
from below. It
Yeah.
was
I
above.
mean, if you look at the image, it kind of looks like there's light coming down, like from the top, just above
Yeah.
each.
Exactly.
So I think it's a hologram. So it's just maybe like the whatever
But it moved.
technology they have on the ship.
Yeah, unlike the holograms, you see like the static lines moving up, right? And that makes sense.
Yeah,
This was like misty.
It was kind of like
smoky.
sandish.
Yeah.
It looked like.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
different. It was completely
Yeah.
different.
It was something we haven't
Yeah.
seen. And I,
Yeah,
And
I
I
was
would've-
really excited to see something new like that.
I just think
Yeah, it was
Merrick's
cool.
stance is a little funny. Like, kind of like
Yeah.
that sass turn to the side.
almost like it's a female. Just
Yeah.
saying.
But even then, Shin isn't standing like that. Like, why does Marok look like
No.
Marok? Like, why? What is that stance? Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe he's just kind of like the whipping boy for these bad assassins, or
maybe.
you know.
I mean,
knows?
Balin's definitely the front runner, and I thought that exchange. You know, what can you like? What's going on with Ahsoka? And he was like, I don't really want to see one of the last Jedi go or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
I thought that was
That said, like,
exchange.
yeah, that said, like he's willing to do stuff if he has to, but he doesn't really want to kill people unless it's like last resort kind of thing.
I don't know. I don't think he minds killing people. That didn't think of trouble. I think it was just being a Jedi, knowing that there's very few. He's a
I
survivor.
think he doesn't
himself.
want to unless he absolutely has to. Because even the first episode, like he was trying to get to the find Morgan's cell without killing him, but then when the captain stopped him, that's when he was like, "Yeah, no, okay, now we got to kill people to get through it."
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, so I think he's
You wanna
trying
see
not
my
to.
ID?
I don't think he's completely bad. So
Yeah, I think there's
but let-
something touch and go.
yeah. But how about you, Lex? What's your top 5?
So yeah, I wanted to see Morgan. I know that in the initial we kind of see her transition from like the prison suit to this like kind of Night Sister, the red dress type situation. So I thought that would be really cool to see. But even then, like I really thought that this like scene where she kind of opens the star map like would be I know we rarely see a 3-pack like of like a movie moment or a show moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought like them being in the dome, like with them opening that, like I thought that would be really cool. I don't know how Funko would pull that off, but I thought that it would be like pretty interesting. Like see the three of them standing there with the dome kind of encompassing them. Like I thought that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
And then yeah, I did want to see a single pop of her kind of just with the Night Sister like dress outfit thing on, because I think that's more realistic than maybe getting the movie moment of them opening that, because I thought it was unique. I knew kind of immediately that she was some type of Night Sister just by what was on her head, and then she put those robes on and I was like, oh, she's a Night Sister. And then she was like, yeah, my sisters of, and I was like, oh, there you go. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I definitely think she's going to be a very
Confirmed.
little character. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's
Oh,
almost
yeah,
like I
for
knew
sure.
that.
Yeah, I think that other movie moment would be cool if they could do that. That
Yeah,
would
if they
be
could pull it
dope.
off, like I thought that was pretty. They get the map, they open it up. So I mean, I'm sure later on when we get different episodes, there'll be lots of cooler like moments. But even like in the trailers, that was a pretty important scene. It looked like. So I thought it was cool to actually see that come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I know that we saw him in the first episode. She kind of is like sad and she's looking at it, but I would like to see maybe a hologram of Ezra Bridger. I don't know how much of him we're even going to get this season, but we did get to see the hologram twice in episode 1, and then Ahsoka ends up finding it and she opens it. So I thought that would be a pretty interesting one. I just like Ezra. I would like more Rebels Ghost Crew characters. So Funko, please help us out. But that's kind of where my thought process was.
No, I think that one's a great one.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I would love to see, because it seems like they're doing a lot of the pop rides, like with the characters and their ships.
Yeah.
And
with the Hyperspace Heroes line too, right?
Yes. So with that, because I think my next two are kind of like similar in that aspect, but I really liked Ahsoka's ship like a lot. And like you could easily have her and Huyang like kind of just vibing like either this way, or even make it so it can turn like or spin on an axis. That would be crazy. Just putting it out there, Funko. But I thought that would be pretty cool. Maybe to see like have the base, have her kind of popping out like her and Huyang, and then maybe just like a little bit further back, kind of just allow it to like kind of spin so you can transition it to how you want, because the ship does do that. And then the other one that I would really like to see, you kind of touched on, I think, Patrick, but Chopper and the Phantom, like with Hera hanging out the front, easy.
Yes.
Take my money. Or even maybe if we'll get to see the Ghost, maybe something like that, like Hera and the Ghost. But I think the Phantom's pretty cool. So
I think
we're gonna get like a fist pump or something.
Yeah, like maybe him just hanging out he's in the back, Hera's kind of in the front, like driving, like what they've been doing, kind of like the Anakin in the End One, but just in the Phantom setting. Like I think that would be really cool.
The tracking beacon, even in one of his hands, I'll take that. Whatever. Yeah. This is cool though.
Yeah. So that was kind of my thought, because I really like the hyperspace heroes and I like what they're doing and like kind of showing off and showcasing the ships more than like the pops itself, because I think that's really cool. So I really like the Phantom. They introduced the Phantom finally. I really like the Ahsoka ship. I think there's a lot they could do with that. I don't know how they would pull it off, but I think we got some great scenes. I really enjoyed episode 2.
Yeah, I'm excited too, Lex. I'm kind of thinking of hyperspace and all that giant hyperspace drive thing they're building, like
like
that. Kind of looks like the old Jedi starships. What are they going to park a Star Destroyer in that thing? And like, I don't know. That's what I'm imagining. They got a Star Destroyer mounting into that. Or something.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
It was kind of giving me like Trade Federation, like back to episode 1 again. Like it had that circular aspect to it. It wasn't like flat. It seemed like it was more upwards. But I was like, it just has that circular but more complete aspect to it. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but it's got 9 of those like hyperdrives or whatever. Like, so I think maybe they're gonna take that to go get Thrawn. I have no idea.
Maybe it projects a tunnel somehow.
And like maybe that's what you travel through.
In that map, that like line. I don't know.
Maybe it's like to travel back in time or something. Like that's like a I have no idea. Because she even said that. She was like, we have to travel through time and space. Not space and time. Maybe it's something to help.
Maybe they make a wormhole to get from one galaxy to the next.
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Tuesday can't come any faster.
I'm with Patrick though. I'm getting vibes of like the Jedi Starfighter docking inside that thing. But just,
of course.
Like Patrick said, like a big
giant Star
Destroyer. Yeah.
I don't know. I started thinking, or even what was that kind of ship that Moff Gideon was riding around? That whatever kind of class cruiser that thing was.
Yeah, it's definitely something big.
Got to be something massive to fit in that thing.
Yeah,
I mean, my goodness.
And to jump it, like going. I mean, that could be exactly what that's for. Is you put a ship flies in, hooks up to it, and you shoot out and you go like.
Yeah,
but it had to be something massive because that thing is huge.
Yeah, and I thought that was funny,
faster than hyperspace. It goes faster than hyperspeed. It goes at
it's classified.
speed.
Yeah,
Classified
classified.
my
Harris like,
ass.
well, let's unclassify that. Well, you don't have the authority. Protocol droid.
Oh, well, actually.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
dimes. Not only does he give up the goods on that, then he dimes out, the HK droid on him.
Yep. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
He's the hero of
Yeah.
the episode. Red
Yeah.
Protocol.
So that does it for the top 5 this week. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode as well. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But up next, we are talking with a Funko concept artist who does some really great Star Wars Funko concepts. We're going to be talking to JBIVVART. So let's jump into our discussion part of the episode and chat with him.
I spec.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Okay, so we have JBIVVART, who is a creator of some concept Funkos, and the three of us here at the Star Wars Popcast particularly like his Star Wars concepts. So welcome, JBIV, to the episode, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Really excited.
Yeah. Why don't you start off and let people know where they can find you and who you are and what you do and all that fun stuff there.
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Instagram. That's really the only place I post. I don't have any other social media. And it's just JBIVVART, all one word, just JBIVVART. And I do all sorts of things. I started with, I come from an art background. So I started with just kind of playing around with a lot of colored pencils and paintings, and then doing digital art and making a lot of just pop culture pieces that I really like. So I would do portraits of characters that were my favorite. And then I started collecting Funko Pops back in 2018. And around that time is when I was dabbling a lot more into digital art itself. And I was like, why don't I just mix the two, and Pops that I want them to make, but they're just for whatever reason not making, why don't I start making them? And it actually started out in hopes for a job. It was kind of like my online portfolio. I was tagging Funko all the time and hoping that they would see it and hire me. But now it's just kind of escalated to, it's just a hobby that I love to do. So, and it's reached, a lot of fine folk out there like you. So, I appreciate every single one of you guys, and then getting to come on cool podcasts like this and talk Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, because we've done a couple of episodes. Our last 2 episodes, we talked about Phantom Menace episode 1 concepts, and I think we had a couple of yours in there. And then last episode we did Attack of the Clones, which I think you collaborated with our friend Andrea on a couple of those.
Yes, yeah. There were a couple of Padme ones that she had commissioned me for that were really fun. I always love doing Padme just because she's a character that does not get nearly as enough love from Funko, or just I feel like the Star Wars community as a whole. So anytime somebody wants anything Padme or anything prequels, honestly, I'm all for it. Those are the ones that I grew up with, so I'm got a special place in my heart for those ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start by asking you three questions that we ask all our guests on our show. So the first one is, how many Star Wars Funko Pops do you have, or how many Pops in general do you have in your collection?
Sure. So Star Wars Pops, I counted them the other day. It's not as many as I should have. I think it's 32 is what I counted at. And then Pops in general, I just sold a couple because I'm making room. You can see the collection behind, starting to just kind of expand from Pops into figures in general. So needed to make some space. But right now it's at like 380, something around there.
Nice.
Yeah. And then of those Star Wars Pops, do you know which one is your most expensive one?
Let me take a look. It might be the 2018 Cad Bane, maybe.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't even know how expensive that one is, but that's just one of the oldest ones that I got at this point.
That's the one in the black and yellow box, I think.
Yes.
With the Clone Wars. Yeah.
I mean, that was
a nice long wide brim.
Oh yeah. It's a great sculpt. That one's so good.
Yeah. And then Also, what is your favorite Star Wars pop, or do you have a favorite?
My favorite Star Wars pops probably the Attack of the Clones Anakin, just
Nice.
because. And I know this is going to be a super hot take, but Attack of the Clones is my favorite Star Wars movie. So that Anakin finally having that after so long, so excited to have that in my collection. And then you guys actually showed it on the last episode, but my concept of that, I made that like 2 years before they announced it.
So close, so close. Like,
yeah.
That's one of the questions I had is like, how close do you feel that you get to the actual concept, and how tripped out do you get when you see it actually happen?
Yeah. I'm always amazed when I do get it pretty close, just because, one, you never know if they do see it, and then if they do see it and they kind of take it, that's amazing, just because then they're kind of going off of something that you did. But yeah, it's always great. I try and get as close to something that Funko I think could actually make as possible. So I don't try and push the limits too hard, but I also try and at the same time expand a little bit further than what they could do, because I want them to see that if they do see it,
push the envelope, what you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Lex, what question do you have?
I'm just wondering, like, how you decide, like, because there's a lot of pops that have not been made of certain Star Wars characters or scenes. So how do you really kind of decide which ones, if you're not commissioned, like if you're just doing it, on your side, like which ones do you pick to do? Like, how do you come up with that process?
I mean, it's really just kind of ones that I myself would want to collect. So that's kind of where my first thought is. I go right into, well, what character or what scene do I really like? If I like it, there's a good bet that a few other people at least will like it out there. I'm never, reaching for all of the likes and everybody to enjoy it. As long as I enjoy it and a few other people enjoy it, then I'm happy with that. So that's really my starting point is, I think it's cool. I would like to own that. Maybe other people would like it too. And if Funko sees it, then maybe they'll make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know a lot of us, like a lot of your concepts, I would love to have Funko make. Like, I think they're sleeping on some of your designs, so they need to take some notes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Funko, if you're watching, and we know that you are, hit me up. Let's work.
Yeah. Now you mentioned because that the Anakin, like you did that like 2 years before they made it. Do you ever feel like Funko's maybe like seen some of your work and like maybe decides to go with that, because it turned out very similar?
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult to say with certain characters and certain scenes, because there's only certain ways that you can come up with one thing. So if you want to do the moment where he's got the dual lightsabers and you're limited to sculpting poses, there's only a couple different varieties that can turn out. So in certain instances it feels like, okay, it's a coincidence, but is where there are other instances where it feels that maybe they have seen it, and if that's the case, and if they kind of take it, then you wish you can get that credit. But of course, Funko's a large company, so I don't know if they would ever want to give credit to people who don't specifically work for them. So I get it in that sense, but at the same time, it does kind of hurt a little bit if you tend to lean a little more towards that direction of they saw it. So try not to think about it too much.
I hear you. I did my own custom pop of a Vader battle damage because, I already pre-ordered it, still haven't received it, and I've had mine. It seems like it's not quite a year, but it's getting there.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
Like I felt like I was a slacker because it felt like it took me 5 months to finally, get the time and get the right glue and you know what I mean, and get all those pieces together so that when I was putting it together, it was in state. It was just dragged out for so long, and I was concerned like they're gonna drop it before I drop mine. And I'm still surprised that people don't have them tangible in their hand yet. Like, to me that was crazy. And
you bring up a funny point of drop it before they drop theirs. That's something that we in the concept community, we always kind of talk about, where if we're working on something and we'll DM each other and kind of get some feedback on it, but we're always worried like, oh, what if it's not done in time and Funko ends up revealing it first, and then we spent all this time working on it, and then we don't want to post it after the fact because nobody's then going to care about it because now it's a physical pop that they can buy.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge for sure.
So what other? Oh, go on, Lex. You go.
How long does it generally take for you to like come up with the individual concepts?
From like idea to it's done, or just when working on it?
I guess either.
Okay. Yeah. The ideas, it doesn't take me too long. Like if I'm watching a movie or the show, I just kind of take notes as to what I would like to make. But then actually sitting down and starting to create that. Shortest ones I've done is, like an hour to 2 hours if I like really take the time to focus on it. But I'm a dad now, so always busy with parenting stuff. So there's not as much free time. So now it kind of is the span over of about 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. And you mentioned those like communities where you with the concept.
Yeah,
artists,
I didn't know there's a whole concept.
What are they? Are they like online like Facebook groups and stuff like that you guys share your stuff to, or it's just like a chat or whatever, like a text
through
or
Instagram.
Okay.
When I started these concepts back in I think it was May of 2019, I didn't realize that anybody else was doing this. And then that's just something that's so special about the Funko community is that it brings people together. So as I was releasing these, people were following me that had like Funko Concepts and things like that in their title. So then I would go to their page, check out their work, and then a few of us became like really good friends over it, and then we just DM all the time and talk about life and things like that. So we can trust each other when before we release a piece, we kind of share it with each other first to see if there's anything that we miss. Because as a designer, if you're looking at a piece for so long, it's so easy to overlook something. So we like to get some fresh eyes on it before we release it to the public, in case there's something that we missed or a detail or anything. So we just kind of DM via Instagram.
Yeah, and I guess that kind of leads to like collaborations, because like a lot of you have collaborated with one another. So how does like the collaboration part work? Do you do like part of the image and send it over to so and so to do their part, or?
So the way that I like to collab, and my friends, my fellow conceptors, we like to collab, is that we typically, if we're going to do like a movie moment, let's say, we'll choose one where it's not just one character in a background. We'll always try and find a scene that's two characters, so that way then each person can make a pop, and then we just kind of, depending on our wheelhouse, if somebody's better at making some objects and things like that, then they'll take the base and the objects. Or if one of us is better at adding some certain details, then we'll take that. But we typically try to do one pop each, and then one person does the base.
If you don't mind, I was one of the things burning question is, what apps or applications are you using? Are you using Illustrator, Maya? Like, what are you using?
So it's most of mine, at least. I don't want to speak for other designers out there, but most of mine is in Photoshop, and then the iPad I use Procreate, because like if I illustrate ones on there, so I'll draw it in Procreate and then export them out and then bring it into Photoshop and then just kind of tweak it and get the pieces all in there.
Nice. Yeah. I'm very curious.
Now, has their style changed over the years since you've been doing the concepts there? Because they're looking like, at least your recent ones, anyways. They're looking more and more like realistic. Like,
thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll send images to like Patrick or Lex, and some of them have fooled me even. Like, that's an upcoming pop. Oh my god,
I appreciate that. That's the goal for it, and a lot of people. It's nice to hear you guys say it in such a a positive way, but there's definitely been a lot of like hate comments that say like why would you trick me like this, and people have been nasty, and we delete those just because it's like we don't want to spread that negativity out there. But
But you guys usually put disclaimers on it, like this is a concept.
Yeah, we call it a concept and everything, but people will still get mad. But so, yeah, I originally started with just strictly 2D pop concepts, and then I escalated more into Photoshop, and then I would do a mix of the two. And so now what you see is that like mix of the two, where I can get some illustrations in there, bring it into Photoshop, make them look more 3D. And I think that's where I've kind of evolved, and I think that's where it can start to look more real, is once I can get that 3D aspect down. So
yeah. Because we all saw. I think I shared that Shin Hati or whatever her name is. Like I shared that with them today, and yeah, that's a really cool one.
Thank you.
So are there any new characters you'd like to make from the new series so far?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. Like I said, I was taking some notes when I watched these.
Yeah,
and of course, only at the moment of recording this, there's only the 2 episodes out.
Yep.
So with that, and of course, Funko also revealed a couple pops from it already. But ones that I want to do are, I would love to do just maybe an unhooded Ahsoka. I feel like most of the Ahsoka pops, at least from ever since she's been in live action, have been, most of them she's hooded. I think we only have like maybe 1 or 2 of her without that cloak on. So I would like it just an unhooded one, maybe in a different type of pose, maybe even without her lightsabers. I'd love to do a Sabine with her long hair. I think that her long hair look is super cool, and in Funko form with the colors and everything, you can do that. And a chase idea could be like her holding the map, and then or the key, whichever they call it, I can't remember. And then her holding the lightsaber. So like a chase with that could be really cool. And then a cool moment or 2-pack, depending on whichever is just easier at the time, would be that new character, what's his name? The new
Marek or Merrick?
Marek, yeah.
But him versus Ahsoka and that second episode, I think that would be a really cool pop duel moment.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't mind seeing that with the cape blowing off. Like, have a piece of acrylic just holding the cape blowing off.
Yeah.
That was just dope.
Yeah.
I'm ready to
go.
Oh,
and then of course Balin. I got to do him since I did The Apprentice.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be such a cool 2-pack, like a Master Apprentice. Like,
yeah. Honestly, shocked
like
they
that.
didn't release those in this wave.
Right? I'm sure it's coming, but I was like shocked because you see a lot of them in the trailer, and then we got nothing from, like, we got Merrick, and he was like kind of not.
I mean, they opened the show. They're aside from those just random rebels who are in there, they are the first main characters to appear in the series, and they don't even have pops. I'm assuming it's gonna be probably an exclusive, but I would like to see it, so I'm gonna make it.
I'm just curious how long we have to wait for that rest of the wave, or second wave. That's what
it depends. I mean, knowing Funko, it could be a couple of months. It took us forever to get those No Way Home pops.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's one thing. Because it's kind of good we have artists like yourself where you make these concepts like ahead of Funko, because I mean usually they're not on top of it. This time they were. So like did you? Yeah. Like, did you have some that were ready for this series, like from the trailer, that you couldn't release because they released these pops already, or?
No, I wanted to wait for the show to come out because I was worried that they were going to do something like that, where as the show drops, they release them at the same time, and I just didn't want to spend hours of time beforehand making all these characters, just them for them to
avail. Yeah.
So I spent my days leading up to the release. I just made, like, I illustrated a poster for it. So I spent my time doing that. And then now that I've seen the show, I'm working on some pops.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, so how important is, like, you mentioned, like, you usually get some feedback from other creators before releasing an image. Like, how important is that feedback, and how much does that affect your, like, I guess, redesigning of a pop? Like, do you often redesign a pop after you've gotten some feedback from them, or is it like very minor? Or?
It depends on what the feedback is. Usually at this point where we all kind of feel like we've mastered our own kind of craft with it, there's not too much more feedback other than this looks sick, I would buy it. Or, sometimes it's just minor of, add some drop shadow below the neck and things like that to make it look more 3D and things like that. So I'll take obviously feedback like that and I'll go and change it. But for the most part, as long as I'm happy with it, I show it to my wife every time before I post it to get that stamp of approval. Because if she thinks it looks cool, then I'm like, okay, we're good.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the true litmus test
awesome.
right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do the same thing a lot of times.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any? Did you or do you have any characters that have been a little bit more challenging to create?
Oh man, I'm sure I have. I would have to scroll through my Instagram to double check, but I don't want to do that now during that. I feel like that's rude. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have. There's so many times where even if I think it's one that's going to be really simple, I'm like, oh, it's going to take me an hour or two to knock this out. I'll be up till like 4 a.m. working on it. And I'm like, more complicated than I thought. It's just sometimes you get hung up on things. Like I said, if you're working on something or looking at it for too long, you end up just driving yourself crazy with it. You just got to step away from it for a bit, and then it eventually comes back to you. But there's been some tough ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So like some of the fabrics, because like we've noticed lately, like or over the last little while, like Funko's been getting a little better at like fabrics on their physical Funko Pops. So how do you make the fabrics look so real on your concepts? Like do you make the textures yourself, or do you you kind of like get a texture online and you kind of import it and stuff like that into Photoshop? Or
it's usually just by myself in Photoshop. I'll just play around with different filters and distort them and add some noise to them. Like a good way to make something look flocked is to just add some noise to it, and then it's just a matter of kind of dialing it down or dialing it up to depend on how furry you want it to look, and then adding certain shading to it and drawing some extra lines in there to make if something's kind of cracked, or if there's some capes that are flowy, you draw some lines in there and blur those so that way it looks like more like fabric flowing with it. So there's a mixture of different things that you can do.
Yeah. So you got your tricks and your little
exactly.
tools and stuff. Yeah, that's very cool.
So JBIV, would you want to work for Funko? And if so, what would you want to do? Would you want to actually be a designer, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I would always love to work for Funko. So again, Funko, if you're watching, and we know that you are, you know where to find me. Just hit me up. I'll do anything, concepts to modeling. I draw the concepts. I do the 3D modeling. So anything.
JBIV, we're going into business together. You do the concepts and stuff, and I'll shoot them.
Let's go. Let's do it.
You know what? Funko, if you're watching, you got your Star Wars marketing team right here.
Exactly.
Star Wars Funko marketing right here. We got it covered. We can handle the packaging between you and I. We'd handle it.
Exactly.
Who knows better than the fans what the fans want, right? So
exactly. Yeah. So I mean, but anything really from concept designer to actual designer. I don't know how Funko works, if those are two different roles, if the people who do the initial concept to then the actually modeling of it. I don't know if those are.
I would think it's almost separate. I think that they, because I know from my time at Hasbro, you would have designers come up with the idea, then you would have the actual people that would take the the sketches and stuff and make it happen, right? So you go from your illustrator to, I think they're using Maya or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, before I left, I would hear, oh, they're growing Boba Fett Black Series right now. What's that mean? And they're like, oh, you got to come see this. And you get to see them. They're 3D printing them. They're growing them. They're printing them out as a concept that we could play. So when, my buddy was trying to shoot him, his arm kept falling off and the cape kept going. It was like a disaster, but it was freshly painted, and it was the first one. So that's what you go with. So I think it would be a 2-step, maybe even 3-step process going from that original concept to someone kind of 3D arty, using some kind of 3D modeling software, and then going to the actual printing. It has to be similar.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then I would like to do the concept portion of that. That's where I feel like the most fun is coming up with the initial idea.
Yeah, the idea.
Sketching it, coming up with different variations of it. Because I often do that too with the ones that I post is, that would be the second or third iteration, because I'll play around with a couple different poses and see which one I like better, and then I'll release that one.
Nice. And that makes sense too, JB, because I think it's kind of like fishing. You can reel it in.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than the hook, right? Am I wrong? Right? If you've ever gone fishing, you're reeling it in, and you can be how big it is. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's when you get that first hook and you've got the bite and you got it on the line. That's the excitement. I can see why you would say the concept, because that's where the lightning happens, right? That's where the inspiration sparks. So very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you mentioned Andrea, our friend Andrea, who is also a big Funko collector. You mentioned she commissioned you to do some of the Padme pops. So like, how do you go about doing commissions? Like, how much do you charge if somebody wants to get some art done,
Sure.
Can you take us through that process?
Yeah. So it's pretty simple. I just have, when I have the time, I have my bio and my Instagram say that commissions are open or commissions are closed if I don't have the time for it. And then people can DM me, and I always just ask what their idea is, because depending on how complex that idea is, the rate might go up. That's just, it's time and effort with that. So it's only natural. But so I do have a baseline starting point. I do $30 just for one pop. And then depending on the details and how complex of the pose and things like that, then it can go up from there. But it always starts at 30. And then if you want 2 characters in there, then I start giving some discounts. So instead of $60 for the 2, I'll do $50 for the 2, and kind of going on like that.
Nice.
Right. Very cool. If Patrick or Alexa, did you have any other questions for JBIV before we finish up here?
No. I think we asked a lot of questions.
Yeah,
he handled everything fantastically, but it was just a great time talking to you, JBIV, and I'm glad we got to have it on.
Yeah,
it's so much fun to finally put a face to the work that we see, and we admire what you've been doing, and we really love the Padme designs you did for Andrea. I mean, they were just phenomenal, and like Chris was mentioning, how you did the fabrics and stuff like that, even the sheer and some of the things.
Yeah.
Beautiful work, really beautiful, man.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. You guys are too kind.
Yeah,
it's just it means a lot to have support like this. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and all of JBIV's information will be linked in the description below as well. One thing I wanted to ask, like, so are you also a collector of just regular Star Wars figures? You mentioned you were getting more into figures there. I see a Queen Amidala, a starship behind you, and maybe are those the KFC figures? Toys and stuff?
Yeah. So like I said earlier, the prequels are the ones that I grew up on. Those are the ones that I saw in the theaters and everything. So I'm really fond memories of those, and they get a bad rap, but I love them regardless. But so this is mainly just kind of Phantom Menace stuff right here, just because I also think that the Phantom Menace had some of the best packaging design.
Oh,
just
yeah,
the black and the red with the Darth Maul. It was just, everything about it was so good back then. So I'm really collecting that. So that's the her Royal Starship, and then you were right. Those are the KFC Taco Bell toys that you could mail in for those back in the 90s. And on the back of each of those has a little picture, and if you put them all together, it has a huge poster. But I'm missing just one out of the whole set.
Oh no!
So I don't want to display it as the poster yet with just a chunk missing. So until then, it's just stacked up like a pyramid. But
what one are you missing? So if any of our listeners are out there, hook Jacob up.
I'm missing the Darth Maul on the speeder bike.
All
So
right.
that's the one I'm in.
That's the one
So,
from the Taco Bell with the orange packaging, I believe.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I got all of the cups. Those were also from
Yeah.
Taco Bell
So
down
you got the
there.
cup toppers. I got the cup toppers behind me here as well.
Yeah.
So
I have
yeah,
mine.
they're yeah.
They're so cool.
Some of the best promotional items too.
Oh my god.
In
Yeah,
recent
it was
Star
amazing.
Wars releases. Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you want to let people know one more time where they can find you before you go?
Yeah, of course. You can find me on Instagram. It's all one word, JBIVVART, JBIVVART. And thank you guys for your time. Really appreciated it.
Yeah, well, thank you again for coming on. We appreciate you coming on and chatting, talking more about your Funko concepts, your Star Wars Funko concepts, and we look forward to seeing some more Ahsoka concepts from you in the near future.
And thank you for exposing this more to that. There's even a community of concept artists on this. I just thought there's one or two people that I would witness and see doing them. Like, oh, I gotta check that. I like that. But now I want to search more. So thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah,
we didn't know that. So I'm sure listeners and stuff would love to hear that. Great.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm sure there's even more than this, but I know about like 20 of them. So I follow a bunch of them. So if you guys want to go on and see who I follow, they're all in there. Some of the ones that I've gotten to be really close with, like you've seen a couple of the collaborations between them. There's Nathros Funkos, is how you say his name, Nathan. He's phenomenal. Popeyes, Pop.IZE. He's great. His name's Ryder, fantastic. And then you used to see Fun Concepts. I've done a couple collabs with. He's recently changed his name to Captain Kyber because now he does just kind of a mix of art, not only Funko stuff. So those are some of my main collaborators. But yeah, there's a bunch that I follow. So if you ever want to take a deeper dive in there, there's a whole bunch of us out there.
Definitely check that out.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you again for coming on, and we will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was a really good conversation with JBIV. I think we learned quite a bit from that.
That was a very cool interview. Like I had no idea there's a community concept.
Yeah, a whole community about with all these guys in it. Like,
and that's why I wanted to bring that up because when he said that, I was like mind blown. Didn't even know that. I see individuals. I didn't know that there's an actual community. So that was really cool to plug. I like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think it was cool to finally
need to learn
him.
Because
I've been following him for a while, and he's only gotten better with his concept art. And to finally talk to him and see and get an idea of how he does everything, like I thought that was really cool. So I enjoyed having him on.
Cool. Yeah, that was great. But that does it for this episode of the Star Wars Popcast. Patrick, why don't you let people know where they can find you when you're not here doing
talking
your top five?
Things, if I'm not here talking all things Funko with Lex and you, Christopher, I'm on my own channel at Toy Photographer, and I create creative Star Wars Funko Pop imagery. And when I'm not doing that, I do some unboxings and stuff like that. So, and recently some on the hunt. So if you're interested in those kind of things, please come over, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. But when I'm not doing my own spiel on my own channel and I'm not hanging out with you guys, Lex, what are you doing?
Well, when I'm not here with you two, I am on my own channel, and I'm on a bunch of different platforms. So anything Jedi Lex, I will probably come up. But I try to do anything from unboxing videos. I've been trying to visit a lot of comic shops. I've been doing a little bit of DIY projects, and I've been trying to get into reading more comics lately, and then sharing with you guys, for those that don't have the comics, what those are about. But I try to do anything and all things Star Wars, and then share my collection with you guys, because I absolutely love the Star Wars community, and I've got to meet Patrick and Chris out of it, so it's been very fulfilling. But when I am not here, or no, wait, when you are not here with me and Patrick, where can the people find you? I always mix that up.
when I'm not here with you and Patrick, and we're not like fumbling our words and stuff like that, Lex, I'm on my own channel as well. Seriously Star Wars, doing weekly Star Wars reviews, and texting these two in the middle of the day and making fun of them and stuff. But all our links will be in the description below, as well as JBIVVART. So give him a follow as well. But
Please.
thank you everyone for watching. Yeah, and listening to wherever you find your favorite podcasts on Spotify, Apple Music, other platforms, I believe, as well. So thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.